Yes, graduates, welcome to Hard Talk Podcast with HTK. Fasten your seatbelts. Hey, users and subscribers, welcome back to another episode of Hard Talk with HTK. Today's episode is particularly special as we will be featuring a special guest. That's right. We will be interviewing Angie, aka Camille Ruffner, who has been creating waves across social media with regards to the Adriana Young case. I'm sure by now you know the name Angie. Yes, indeed. A lot of you have got mixed feelings about this personality, which is Angie, the cousin of Sir Brian. Um, and I think it's time that we address certain lies, misconceptions that have been floating about on social media against this lady's name. You first fell in love with her because of her ardent support, her commitment to the Young family during their tragic loss of their daughter, Adriana Young. You considered her to be a pioneer for the Justice for Adriana movement. You bigged her up many times for how vocal she was against the injustice that was meted out to this girl. Now, the internet has done a 180 and everybody has tagged her as Enemy 101 as a result of recently released videos. In this interview, we are going to explore some of the lies that were told. You would have witnessed part one of that over on Fire's channel. This is part two, and we hope this is also the final part of this saga. Now, I do have to apologize as the sound is not so brilliant in the first part of this video. However, as it goes along, you will notice that the sound will improve significantly. Please bear with. I've used auto captions to help you out, just so you can decipher in case you're finding it difficult to hear, but it does get better. My apologies in advance.
Welcome to Hard Talk with HTK. This is another exclusive episode in the whole case to do with Justice Adriana Young. Now, I'm sure by now you have all been paying attention to the drama as it unfolds. But I think it's important that we step back a moment and realize why all of this is actually happening. Now, many people have got mixed feelings about my guest today. And that is Angie, the cousin of Brian, based on the recent revelations. We are here in this episode of Hard Talk to ask some critical, crucial, and difficult questions of Angie to clarify some of the actions that we have seen recently, and also some of the accusations that have been levied against her name. I believe that everybody should have the opportunity to defend themselves. Social media can be a very dangerous place where if misinformation goes out there, it can spiral out of control and be used to actually tarnish somebody's image and reputation permanently. We all know that there are many people who actually do not survive this kind of slander or cyberbullying that we are currently witnessing that's happening where Angie's concerned. Now, of course, you, my audience, may have different perspectives about whether or not she deserves it. But you know what they say. There are many sides to a story. There is her side, his side, the truth, right? And I think that many people are forming conclusions with incomplete information or one-sided opinions. I think it's important that Angie gets the opportunity to counteract the things that have been said about her. You may have heard part one of that rebuttal that took place on Fire's show last night. And now today you are going to be hearing part two, which we are hoping is the final rebuttal that is necessary, and after which we can now refocus on what else there is when it comes to justice. So first, I am going to allow my guest to introduce herself. Camille is aware of the dynamics of this interview. I can see her; she can't see me. But you all will be able to see. So, can you please introduce yourself for those who may be new to what's happening and where we're at?
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Camilla. My middle name is Angela, but I was given the name Angie by Let's Talk the TV by influence. I am here today with HTK to let everyone aware and know the truth about the lies that have been spreading in regards to me filing for bankruptcy, in regards to me being charged with fraud and whatever else HTK have to ask whatever question. I am here today to answer everything, to set the record straight, and to get this over because I am free. I'm disappointed. I am heartbroken. I am free.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's a terrible thing when your name is being dragged through the mud on social media. And those of us who have been out here all this time, we know what this feels like. It is something that happens to all of us. I've experienced it, and it isn't a new thing, but it's the dark side of social media interaction. Social media can make you, it can break you. And it really is about your spiritual and emotional resilience and how you cope with it that will help you to get out on the other side. Now, I was not privy to the discussions that took place last night because I was asleep. It was quite late over here in the UK. But I did wake up this morning to some recordings that were sent through to me by another Guyanese who was present on a live where your name was being dragged quite horribly. And I do understand that it is in response to this that you ended up with that live on Fire's channel. To clarify some of the things said there. We're not going to rehash those things in this interview. We're going to address a very crucial part of the Justice for Adriana case, which was the financial element to the case, the fact that monies had to be raised for various reasons and by various people. And the impact that has had on your name and your character as it stands on social media to date. Now, one of the things that we are going to be answering, which I believe was not answered in the interview last night, is a question I'm going to start with. What was your intention when you planned to reveal those two videos on Carlotta's show? So we're not talking about the mistaken release. We're talking about what you originally planned. We're going to go right back to that. What was your intention where those two videos were concerned on the Carlotta show, which was the No Flinching show? What did you intend to use those videos for?
My original intention was for the public to see and aware of what was transpiring, and that was Amicia being like very, how do I put it? Like I would call it stubborn. I would call it rude. I would call it like disrespectful towards Sir Brian as her husband. And I wanted people to see, well, it wasn't the old video because from the part where the video was showing, it's just from in front of the house here. At the back, the video it was a beginning to that video, which was where they were sitting in the kitchen. But I don't have a camera in the kitchen. I have removed that camera. It was the fact that Amicia was telling her husband that Alana Trotz paid for the autopsy and that he could not have afforded to bury their daughter. I find it disrespectful and rude. And he was asking her, what do you mean Alana Trotz paid for my autopsy? To Amicia, to what my understanding is, like Amicia is saying, because Alana Trotz gave her the GoFundMe money, it is the money come from Alana Trotz. So whatever Alana Trotz say, that's it. So if Alana Trotz take any part from that money, that's not Brian business, or she don't care about what Alana Trotz take, which I also find that to be very disrespectful, because people work very hard for their money. Money does not come by easily. And if people, sympathize with you and they wanna, contribute to your cause or whatever, it is not Alana's to take. All those monies belongs to you, Sir Brian, and those children. So that was my main thing to show out that, listen, even though her husband calling her to sit and talk, because you gotta explain to him. He's saying to you, he never know you were collecting money all along. Now that he's hearing money, because Sir Brian was being bashed in the media for money. So he wanna let us talk about this. Explain to me, because it's like a shock. I didn't know you're collecting money, and she refused. Boldly, blatantly refused, and we're pulling like this, as though if he was going to hit her. He wasn't hitting her. He was trying to say, "Come, let us talk." And like he was getting upset, holding her hands, and I'm in the middle, because at that time I thought he was going to hit her, because I'm like, he was going to hit her, because I'm like, what is this again in this house? And when they were going up the stairs, he was trying to block her. But to people like he was choking her, he was not choking her. He was trying to block her. Come, come talk to me, girl. My wife, come talk to me. Because she did not want to talk to him. That's what caused him to pull off his wedding band and bust off the chain. But he bust off the chain because prior to that, she was saying to him, she won back the chain with Adriana's fingerprint on the chain, dependent. That Amicia made for both of them. She's saying, I won back the chain, what my money buy. So I got involved. Like, man, that's insulting. What do you mean your money buy? It is both of you money. And I kept saying to her, it's both of you money. Stop telling him, my money. Y'all married with a big eye for us. And I was trying to explain certain things, but that was my initial
that was your initial intention.
Reason.
Show the fact that they were having disputes around money and the lack of honesty where Amicia was concerned towards Brian around the finances.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Many may interpret that to say, well, that's husband and wife business. Yes, okay, you're identifying the dishonesty, but that's husband and wife affair. How they communicate and the problems with their communication is to do with the fact that they're young in marriage. They don't understand themselves, and these are things that husbands and wives will eventually work out without third-party interference. What does that have to do with the Justice for Adriana support that you are supposed to be there for? How would it have impeded on the Justice for Adriana movement? If say, for example, Amicia is hiding the money, but the money is being used appropriately for the justice movement, then the justice movement still continues. So what does it matter if she didn't, what does it matter to you? I'm not saying it doesn't matter to Sir Brian. What does it matter to you that Sir Brian doesn't know? That's Sir Brian and Amicia's problem. So I'm asking you now, that's what many will say, and I'm asking you now, that withholding of the funds, did it have any negative impact on the focus for justice for the child?
If it has any negative impact on the focus for justice for the child. That's what you said?
That's right.
To me, the money have a negative impact indeed. That's only my opinion. Because Amicia was mainly focused on whatever else money coming in. Amicia
Amicia
had wanted
had
us
wanted us
to, well,
to,
we
well,
had
we had
gotten an
gotten an
attorney
attorney
um,
um,
for
for
Dr.
Dr.
Collins and
Collins and
for
for
another
another
content
content
creator
creator
on
on
YouTube,
YouTube,
on
on
TikTok.
TikTok.
And
And
Amicia
Amicia
starts saying
starts
things
saying
like,
things like,
I don't have
I don't
any
have any
money
money
to get
to
his
get his
attorney. I don't
attorney. I
have
don't
this. And
have
I'm
this. And
saying
I'm
to her, you
saying to
don't
her,
have
you
to
don't have
pay
to
for the
pay for the
attorney,
attorney,
as the
as
attorney
the
had
attorney had
explained to
explained
you,
to you,
step by
step
step
by
how
step
things
how
gonna
things
go.
gonna go.
And
And
the fact
the
that
fact that
every time
every
she's
time
going
she's going
around
around
to Sir
to Sir
Brian, it
Brian, it
wasn't me,
wasn't me,
saying to
saying to
him,
him,
you got to
you
give me
gotta give
back
me
my
back my
money whenever
money
he
whenever
asks
you
her for
ask her
money
for
to
money to
purchase.
purchase.
Like,
Like,
I wouldn't
I
say
wouldn't
what he
say
want to
what you wanna
purchase, but
purchase, but
whenever she
whenever
asks
she
him for
asks him for
money,
money,
he's
he's
asking her for
asking her
money.
for money.
Sorry, she's
Sorry,
saying I
she's
don't
saying I
have
don't
any
have any
money.
money.
So
So
it
it
comes a
comes a
time that
time that
more than one
more than
time he
one
got to
time you
go and
gotta
play
go and play
games.
games.
Like
Like
some
some
2 or 3
two or
times I
three
saw
times
him
I
play
saw
it
him
with
play it with
Fata.
Fata.
And when he
And
played
when he
those
played those
games, he would
games,
ask
he
my
would ask my
daughter
daughter
to see how
how
much
much
money he
money he
received,
received,
and
and
he would put
he
it
would
in
put it in
PayPal. Then he
PayPal.
would
Then he would
transfer it to
transfer
my
it to my
account.
account.
My daughter
My
will
daughter
help
will
him,
help him,
and I have
and
to
I
pull
have
it
to
out
pull
and
it
give
out
it
and
to
give it
him.
to him.
When he
When he
used that
used that
money up,
money up,
sometimes it's
sometimes it's
$100,
$100,
sometimes it's
sometimes it's
$50,
$50.
just a little. Whenever he used that money up and he go to Amicia and asks Amicia for money, Amicia saying to him, she don't have, or if she do give it to him, he got to pay her back, to the point where I would give him money to get what he got to get. But it was none of those money is my business. However, it became my business when myself, Amicia, and Sabrian took this attorney, and they requested different videos from the person who were slandering their names, name of the person, address of the person, the person platform, receipts, and all these things. So when it got to the receipts, that's how they went to New York to take back Amika. So I received the call because the call were normally made through my phone because I have an American line. So I called Miss Beth, Miss Snap, and Alana. I didn't call one person. And I waited until all three of them came on and we start talking. And I'm going to say it here now. My reason for calling Snap and Miss Beth. Snap had contacted me because she had talked with Miss Beth and let Miss Beth aware that she is aware that Alana spent all the money that they had accumulated to give back to Ailey in bills, rent, gas, and different stuff. So Miss Beth was like, that's not Alana's money to keep. Also, that money, Sabrina was not aware of it. So because of that, when I called Alana, Alana tried to make it into a problem. Amicia and I had a talk, and Amicia kept saying, well, she was always upset of Ailey and Angela with the 2N kept talking about money, money, money. And she said to me, this is going to make people stop giving me money when they said it's only money, money, money that I need. Right? She said it's going to make people looking at me for money, money, and they're going to want to know why my money finished so fast. So um, she turned and said, you know what? I have to talk to the lawyer about that. So when we talked to the lawyer, it was like, to my knowledge, was he have to try to build a case because not only the money part, it was more added to the money, whereby it was trying to be like a defamation of character case. Like the case did not get to bill. We were still in the process of sending over information to the attorney as they requested information. We were told we could not have do anything from the USA for to Ailey. So what Sabrina and Amicia had done, they had me type out a letter where both of parents sign, and they sent that letter giving Miss Beto permission and London Star permission, because it was Miss Beto and London Star was gonna come together to get an attorney to fight Ailey defamation of character and other stuff on the London hen with Ailey. So we were only dealing with um, Angela with the two N over here. No correction. I did not want to collect anything. These are stuff that was going directly to the attorney, not me. What I had, I have to transfer to the attorney. What Miss Beth and Miss Snap sent to me, I have to transfer that to the attorney. What Alana, I was gonna give Alana an email address to the attorney so she deal directly with the attorney, not me. And Amicia explained that to Alana. Amicia and Sabrian did explain that to Alana the following day. Because when Alana called Amicia thinking that, telling her, no, don't be stupid. Is Angie want this evidence, like brainwashing her? Amicia said no. No, and she said, Alana, let me explain. And she did explain to Alana, but Alana still were brainwashing her, like bringing in other stuff, saying that Angie, Angie tell me pull off your ring. Angie did say this, Angie said, like brainwashing her.
Okay, so this is the part of the story where Angie's actually talking about the bankruptcy and the fraud that she's been accused of. It's quite an interesting story, so please sit back and listen to the details because you don't want to miss this.
I was working at a restaurant in Brooklyn, New York. I'm not gonna give a whole long details because I wanna like give the short and direct to the point. I was working at a restaurant in Brooklyn, New York. Before I got to that restaurant, I had a matter pending. I cannot speak directly, or I should say anything at all, much on this matter, because when the matter was settled, and I received the settlement, I had to sign a non-disclosure stating I can no longer speak on this matter because if I do, they can go ahead and sue me. Anyhow, I have never ever sued anyone in my life history. When that incident occurred, it was reported by the individual own, not me. And I did receive a settlement out of court. Anyhow, before receiving that settlement, I was living on 93rd and I was working at a restaurant in Brooklyn, New York. And my boss, my mail used to be opening at my apartment. Every time I go home, my mail, somebody opening my mail. I asked my manager at the time, who was my boss then. I explained to her what transpired. And the question was asked to me. I'm going to give you three advice. Is either you go to the post office and let the post office hold your mail, or you have your mail come to the restaurant here where you're working there, you're going to pick it up. Or the last option is when I go to walk my dogs, you can give me your keys and I can just go and get your mail and bring it and give it to you in your hands. I chose the last option. My reason for choosing the last option, I am not, I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert, but I'm mainly an introvert. Moreover, I was very fearful of society because of what had happened to me back in Guyana, what had also happened to me when I got here in the US. I became fearful of society. I am still, up to date, a little bit fearful of society. I told her I'm fearful of the train because I only rode the train one time since I got here. I'm fearful of the train. I don't know where the post office at. I don't know how to get to the post office. I'm fearful of my surrounding, like because of since I stepped out to go somewhere, it doesn't matter who it is, male or female, they would look at me and look at me twice, and it's kind of weird. It kept reminding me of why I was raped in the first place and all this kind of stuff. So I'm fearful. I didn't want the letter to go there to the post office. I did not want the letter to come to the restaurant because I do not work every day. I don't know who hand my mail would go in and all this different stuff. I decided to choose to give my keys to the individual to go to my apartment and pick up my mail whenever she's going to walk her dog. It so happened I used to get my mail all the time, every time. However, it was this one day she came back and said, "Oh, you didn't got any mail." I honestly, because whatever anybody said to me, I believe them. Because I don't see why people would have to lie on themselves. I honestly believe her. That said day, I received a call stating I have to come for an appointment. Normally the buildings that I go to, I have to call call back and give my name so that they can put it in the system because they were federal buildings, and I cannot go in with a company. I cannot just turn up at the building. So I did not know how to get to Manhattan. I let the individual know, is it okay? I gotta go 2 days, prior to me receiving the call to Manhattan. I have an appointment, a very important appointment. So I'm asking, for time off from work. That individual offer, oh, no, 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 no. I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take you. It's okay. You take all the time. I'm gonna take you. As we were going to Manhattan on the day that I had to go to my attorneys, uh, the individual started to question me of how I come to the country because there were a prior incident to that whereby I let her know that I was raped. So she also let me know she was raped and, embraced me. And she started to ask me how I came to the country. We started to talk and share different stuff, personal stuff. But the individual became so like, I don't know how to put it, but it's like, like you extra caring, extra concern, loving. Like she started to show, like she started to say to me, you know what? I want to adopt you. So I bust out a laugh. I said, adopt me. I got kids. I'm a grown woman like me. So she said, no, 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 no. I want to adopt you. I don't have any children and you're a sweet person and all these things. But at that moment, I did not know that I had a mail came for me with the amount of settlement that I'm coming in for. When I got to the attorney, the individual could not have come up. The first question was asked when one of the attorney came to receive me. He was like, "Oh, do you have the mail?" I'm like, "What mail?" He said, "The mail that was sent to you. In the mail stated that you should walk with it." I said, "I never received any mail." So he stopped. We both stopped in the hallway. He said, "Hmm." I said, "Okay." And he put his hand like this and we walked. So I got in the room and the other attorneys that came on both sides and we all sat down and they're they're asking about the mail, they're taking out paperwork and different stuff. So I said, I don't have the mail. So one attorney said, let me go and check something. They went and they checked, they called the post office and it was to them that the mail was received. Right? They so another attorney came back and said, you know what? Never mind the mail, we're gonna work around that. They did work around that mail. And I did sign for the settlement and everything. However, before I got back to the car, the lady kept coming upstairs and with a security guard. So the security guard is saying to me, did you ask for her to come? I said, no, because in the federal building, I could not have used my phone. So I'm asking myself, no. So she's like, oh my God, I'm coming to check on her. She wasn't feeling well. And I'm asking myself, wasn't feeling well? Like, So the guy said, that's not what you said to me. You said she called you to come up. That you came and gave her name and you said she called you to come up. So it was confusing, but anyway, we left. As we going down, she just grabbed me by my arms and we going down and she started to ask more questions. So I said, it's weird. They asked me about a male, right? She said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like she started to go like if pretending as if she's panicking. Oh my God, mama, oh my God, mama, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm mistaken. Open your mail for my mail. Oh my God, I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna go to jail. And she started to, I'm like, relax, no. Right? Because at that time, I was never aware that opening somebody mail is a federal offense. I did, I did not know that at that time. Right? So she said, I'm going to go to jail. And she started to carry on. So I'm like, no, relax. I'm calming her down. Like, we work around the mail. Because all this time I still like didn't realize what she's telling me. Then she said, um, I thought your mail was my mail and I opened it by accident. So I said to her, by the way, my mail don't come to your house. Oh, you open my mail by accident. I said, but anyway, I just said we work around the mail, just let it go. Because she was prolonging about this, she apologized. So there and then I realized that, oh my God, this woman is seeing what I'm coming in for. This woman is seeing everything.
The money that you were coming into, the settlement money, you cannot disclose. You cannot disclose what that money is for, but clearly it was a substantial amount, and that was in the documentation, and she read that without your permission, correct?
Correct.
So in doing that, um, she was acting as though she was panicking, but you're thinking something else was happening. What happened after that that led to this whole bankruptcy thing?
We went to BJ's, get stuff for the restaurant, head back to the restaurant. Normally I would go with a taxi or someone will come to get me and take me home. That night she offered to take me home. And from then onward, she offered to take me home. But from that night, she was like, because I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. It was a flat, but there was 4 different rooms. We all share one kitchen, one bathroom, and we all in different persons, strangers in different rooms, right? So when she came in with me, she came in my apartment with me. She's like, I want to come and see where you live. Like, she's a very pushy person. So she came in with me and she's like, oh, no, 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 mama, I got to move you from here. I got to move you from here. She said, you know what? Tomorrow you're not going to come into work. I'm going to come and pick you up. We're going to go. I'm going to rent an apartment for you. And she started to do, and before she started saying that, as we were going, she started to gain my trust because I didn't, after me being raped and what happened when I came here, I didn't trust no one. Right. So she started to like gain my trust. And she's like, I want to move you, but I was comfortable where I am at because I'm an independent person. Right. So she's like, I'm gonna move you from here and I'm gonna rent a place for you. And this woman and I searched the entire day. No, the night she said to me she did not sleep. She was looking for apartment for me. She make appointment. She got an appointment for this apartment. Everything was moving very fast. What she was doing for me. Um, when I signed for the settlement, it at a time limit where I was going to receive this settlement. So the woman started to help me. She moved me out from my apartment on 93rd. Where I was, I didn't like where I was, where she had moved me into, because it was a guy that was coming in with different women and I was kind of scared. So she moved me from there now and placed me by her sister to live. My little daughter, I had sent them back to go to school in Guyana, and my little daughter went missing in Guyana. And when our dad and my mom, when they found her, I booked her flight for her to come right away for my children to come back. That lady went and she received my children to me because I was so traumatized. She received my children for me, and she put myself and my two daughters up at our sister in Canarsie. When we got there now, our sister started to separate my children. Normally, I used to dress my two girls alike. She started to separate my kids, and I'm telling her, this lady never allowed me to go with any taxi. She never allowed me to do anything on my own. She was doing everything for me and my children. She started to write letters, and you have them there. She started to give me letters to give to my attorney. She is telling me what to do. Like, I want you to give your attorney these letters and let them know that I am taking care of you and the girls. And she is giving me these letters and signing these letters. You have those documents there. And she even had me call my attorneys. 'Cause it was more than one attorney I had, and she had me call them to for her to talk to them and let them know. She's like, I know Camille been through a lot of trauma, severe trauma. I just want you to know I have her best interest at heart. Oh my God, she's such a sweet lady. You know, I'm taking care of her and the kids. They're such a sweet children. And my attorney called me after and said, I don't trust that lady. Keep far from her. But at the moment, she had already done stuff for me. At the moment, I was already by her sister. I don't have any family member that I was like close to, because when I came up, I was by family member, and we had a falling out. The way they put me out of the house because of so many different stuff, and I didn't want to mix up with any family anymore, because the said family used to come in my home in Guyana. I own my own home there, where my mom owned her home, where they used to come there, and we never had any problems. So why are you doing this to me here? And I just decided to keep off. So when the attorney told me to cut her off, I didn't, which I should have. And I said to him, I said, I don't want to cut her off. When I get my money, I want to help her back, because she was helping me. The lady, when she gave me letters, she began to start. She said, I'm take you to the bank. I'm gonna open a card for you. Prior to what your card, I'm gonna open this card special for you. I want you to open it. And I'm gonna be putting money in the card. Because I always used to be sending money back to Guyana. I used to help churches. I would have people in my community. Anyone I know need help, family members, anybody I know need help, I would help financially, or I would send burials or whatever you need. So she started to put money into my account for me to continue helping people. Pardon me?
Can I pause you a minute and ask you a question?
So,
Because you spoke about the fact that she was going to open bank accounts for you. She was going to open credit cards or debit cards for you. In the American
no, not
system,
debit cards. No, not credit or debit cards. She did took me to TD Bank to open an account. Yeah.
okay. So my thing is, in America, in the American system, what are the requirements that are necessary to open a bank account?
Two proof of ID card, your social security number, and I cannot remember what's the other one. Proof of address, two proof of address, your social security card, and something else. I cannot remember. I opened my account so many years ago.
Okay, and when you went with her for that process, did she use your ID, your your legitimate ID? Did you have all the requirements, your social security number? Were you legal and settled enough to be able to do that?
No, at the moment I did not have a social security card. At the moment I did not add, I had to use her sister proof of address. So she had to come with me, because the information that I did not had, she was providing it from her.
Right. Um, so when she did that and opened an account, was the account opened in your name or with somebody else's social
No, no,
security?
no, wait, sorry. My apology. I had a temporary social security card. I didn't have the original social security card, like the permanent one.
Right. Okay.
I had,
So,
I had the temporary social, because my paperwork was still in process going through.
right. So you had the temporary social security number. So the address, because by this time you had moved in with her, correct?
I was living by her sister
Or by
in
the
Canarsie
sister?
with my children.
Okay, so the sister
She
had
had
to
took me and
provide
my
you with.
children by her sister to live.
Okay, so the sister had to give you something as proof of address.
No, the sister did not prove anything. The sister wasn't aware of that. She brought her stuff, so it shows as though as if I was living by her with at her address.
Oh, I see. I see. So she used her proof of address. Um,
Correct.
I don't know if it works this way in America, but here in the UK, when you're providing proof of address, your name has to be on a bill or on a statement that's going to that address. So what, because if you were living by the sister, what did she use as proof of address for you?
No, she had one of her friend daughter was working at the bank there. So I don't know what and what, because first when she went into the room before I went in with her, I don't know what and what they do. But then when I went in with her, I only had to give my social security and my passport. And my I did give my Guyana ID because I did still had my Guyana ID card at that moment. And everything else she gave.
Right. So she provided everything else to the bank. So the person at the bank that she communicated with was her friend.
Our friend daughter.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. So continue. So now you've set up your bank account. I'm just conscious of time, so we're going to try and speed up the story a little bit. She's opened up a bank account with you. It's in your name, Camille Ruffner. Yes.
She let me make it clear. She did not open up the bank account with me. It is my bank account. But she
Right.
helped me with some documents to open the bank account.
Okay. So now you have your bank account open. How does things evolve where you end up? Because you sent me some documents with transactions highlighted. Um, can you just explain that document? What was she doing with the accounts?
You saw with a house?
No, with the accounts. What was she doing with the accounts? Because you
Oh, the
highlighted
account,
some
she would put
transactions.
money into the account sometime every other day, sometime every day, sometime every week, sometime 3, 4, 5 times per month. She would put in money into the account. And when she put in money into the account, when she come back to the restaurant, or sometimes she would come to the house, or sometimes she would call me and say, "Oh, mama, I put some money in the account," and she would direct me what to do. She would say, "Go send some for your mom. Go send some." Like she would say, "Whoever you gotta help, help." Or you know what? When I'm gonna come, I'm gonna take you for shopping. Sometimes she would even use back some of the money on her. My son well, that's later down. My son had became her godchild, so she was help, taking from that money to get buy stuff for my son, who was our godchild, like if you need any toy, any present, whatever. But that money we would buy grocery, we would do a lot of things with the money. And at that
So
time she decided to move me from her sister. I was living on my own then
right. Can I just
with my
ask,
with,
the monies that she was putting in bank accounts, where was this money coming from?
oh, sorry, it was coming from our restaurant. According to her, 'cause I'm not sure.
Right. So why didn't she, as a restaurant owner, why didn't she have a business account to deposit her own money into?
No, no, no. These were not money deposited for her. These were money she was giving to me, like gave me as my
Oh,
personal money.
oh, as a gift, she was gifting you money. So it wasn't okay. So it wasn't as though she was using that account to launder money, avoid taxes, or anything like that. I'm making it clear for the audience. It wasn't about hiding funds. Those monies were gifts to you, Camille.
Yes, because remember at that time, while we were coming back from New York, she's telling Manhattan, she's saying to me, she don't want me to call her Miss anymore. I'm her daughter. God sent her to me. Remember, she had already saw what I'm coming in for.
Yeah.
Right? So she's saying that I'm her daughter. So I had privilege more than anybody at the restaurant. I had privilege more than her husband. I had privilege more than anybody else. She was head over heels doing things for me. Like I beginning to question her. Even later on in the as we were friends, and became to know my husband. My husband is saying, "I'm American born." An entire generation from here. I've never in my life history see anybody do so much for a person or give so much to a person. I did not. I did not at the time we were talking. I didn't know my now husband fully, but she introduced herself to him and let him know that she is my mom. He actually thought she was my mother.
And where was this lady from originally? I don't think you mentioned. Where was she from originally?
Trinidad.
Ah, right. Okay. So, so she's giving you all these monies. When did it become a case of fraudulent alerts coming up? How did you start to find out that something was not right?
Okay. When I received my settlement, I gave her money back. I helped her. There are times she come and say that she's short of money at the restaurant and she didn't have the money to make up to pay her employees. So I'm helping her back, right? The apartment that she had rented for me, I decided to start taking care of my apartment and stuff. But after that, she had took her sister-in-law off from her job and was paying her to become my maid. The sister-in-law and her become like the two of them start having problems. One day I came home and I caught her sister-in-law in my suitcase. So I asked her, "What are you doing there?" She started telling me that her sister-in-law then just brought her to me to work as a maid. She brought her there for her to spy on me to see if I have where I have my money, if I have another bank card, which I did have another card that my now husband had also took me to that said bank to open a new account where I had put my money into that account. So after that, she started to say things like she started to start saying that she's short of this, she's short of that. And it was kind of confusing to me. How are you short of these stuff? And yet you were bringing a bag of money, cash money for me to keep. And I told you I don't because I was scared. I have never seen so much money in my life. I'm like, I don't want to keep nobody money, right? Because I'm questioning, are these counterfeit? What are these? I don't want no part of no money. So she did not give me that money. So I was confused. How you get this bag of money that you just had brought to me, and then you saying you broke. And then she started to say, she called me one day in tears. And I never like when she cried, because it always break my heart when she cried, because we developed such a friendship, such a bond. It's like she indeed had become like a mother to me. I introduced her to all of my family. My mom and dad, when they came here, they met her, my sister. Everywhere I go, it is her who taken me. So all over I go, all my family became to know this woman. And she would say to every one of my family, this is my daughter that God gave to me. My two children are her granddaughter, but she was conflicting because when it's time to rent house or anything for me, she's telling the person my children is her children. I have one of my daughter is fair in complexion, one is dark. So she's saying the fair one is, take her side, the dark one take her husband's side, and I'm her sister. So um, when I decided to move from our apartment because of what I found out our sister-in-law was doing to me, I came up here. She would call me. We would go down to New York every weekend. She decided to cry and told me that she have a lawsuit. She said someone is suing her for $49 million, and if I can pay it for her. So I said, "Oh, you $49 million?" I said, "Where am I getting $49 million from?" I said, I never, if I got $49 million, I wouldn't give it to my family. That's what I'm saying to her. Her words was to me, oh my God, oh my God. But by that time, I found out so many times she tell lies so many times. So at that moment, as she starts saying things to me, I'm becoming skeptic. I'm like, she coming with another lie again for ask some money back again. Um, she said, I'm not lying this time. I'm not lying. I know I've been lied to you. I'm not lying this time. So I requested, which attorney is suing you? Is it okay? Can I ask your consent for the telephone number for this attorney, so that I can contact this attorney on your behalf? Um, she didn't want to give it at first, and then I'm like, no, I can't. I said, man, for you wanted me to believe you, right? I said, no, in this world can somebody sue somebody for $49 million. At least I don't know of that. So can I get the number to the attorney if you don't mind? She gave it to me. She said, before she gave it to me, she said, I've been running from him since 1996. So I said, 1996 running from him. Well, there was a few times I saw a Jewish guy came into the restaurant, and every time the guy comes, she would run indeed. So I'm like, oh, is that guy that used? She said, no, not him. Right? He died. Another guy. So I'm like, okay, you know what? It's confusing right now. Just send me the number. You have those text messages. The number was sent to me. I contacted that attorney. When I contacted the attorney, I let him know who I am. I let him know how I got his number. And to my surprise, the attorney is telling me about another attorney. He's telling me to have her contacted her attorney and let them come. So I'm calling her back. I'm like, you have an attorney? Because the attorney shares certain things with me prior to me calling her. So it's like now my mind is like, boom. I started to become fearful. I'm like, oh my God, am I dealing with a criminal? Who was I walking around with? Who was I driving around with? Who was I like into? I'm like, I don't have my own problem. What is this now I got myself involved in? So I called her back and I started to get in on her. Because even though she's way older than I am, she always looks up to me because she always liked the fact that I always speak bold, I always speak with authority, and I get direct to the point with when I speak. So she had to respect these things about me. So I started to tell her, what example you're setting to me as you claiming I'm your child? What example you're setting to my children? Right? I said, this is not how I want my kids to raise. I'm raising my children different from how I was raised. I said, and this, I started to become fearful because in my mind, oh my God, people gonna come and look for this woman. They're gonna unalive her. They're gonna unalive me. I started to become fearful. So I'm saying to her, this is not right. I said, since 1996, I wasn't in this country then. My mom was. I said, you can't do this. I said, this is not a child of God. And I started to talk about the Bible with her. And I started convinced her, you need to come with this man. Come to this man with me. You got to settle this. We have to settle it. I said, you know what? I'm gonna settle this for you. I said, I gonna put myself in front and settle this for you. Because you cannot live like this. You cannot live running from people. And if you owe a debt, pay your debt. Stand up to your responsibility. I said, we are gonna do this. I said, I'm with you all the way. Right? She said, I'm scared, mama. I'm scared, but I know you don't know these people. You don't know. Anyway, I said, leave that to God. Not me. We are going with Jesus. And once we go with him, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. And she contacted her attorney. I contacted her attorney as well. You have those information there in the text. When myself and her were pulling up, I let him know we were pulling up, and we went and we met with the attorney. When we met with this attorney, mind you, this attorney is one of the attorney that normally sworn in Supreme Court judges. When we met with this attorney, she's still fearful, or her attorney fearful of that attorney. And I am saying to the attorney, because I'm like, we're all human beings, fearful of people like that. I'm saying, This is my friend. The man started to insult her. So I had to caution the attorney of the way you're talking to her. I didn't bring her here for this. But he was upset and angry to the point that so many years we are running in and out of court. You are running from us. You are running from us. So I tell him, I cut all of that short. I'm like, listen. And I started to tell the attorney about God. And I started to prophesy and preach and talk. And I went all in. Anyhow, the attorney said, you know what? He asked who I am to her. She said to him, I'm our daughter. He said, you don't have children. So she said, I normally call her my daughter because she's like a daughter to me. And she started explaining, and our attorney explained. He said, well, this person, you need to hold on to her till you depart this earth. Right? Because what I did, I brought the $49 million down to $4 million, where she is responsible for only $4 million. She had to pay 30,000 every month to this attorney for 12 years. At the end of the 12 years, she was going to have a balloon payment of $2 million, where she was going to go back. They was going to negotiate. She was going to have the deed, because the negotiation I made was for them to give her the deed, was for them to give her all full access to the restaurant because the building wasn't hers. Um, all of the information is in that letter that you have there. So when the attorney finished go and he did that letter, draft up that letter, I was the first person he gave that letter to. He said, this is your permanent record and copy. Do what you want to do with this. He gave our attorney one, and he gave her one to sign. She signed it. She swore. She agreed to go ahead and comply with the rules and whatever deal that I have made with the attorney for her. And a picture, the attorney asked for a picture to be taken out because he was like blown away and amazed by. I even taught him as an attorney some things that he did not know, even though he is this very powerful attorney in Manhattan. So he was like, I got to get a picture to put it up in my office, and you have the picture there. Right.
That's that. So can I just ask though, um, whose American dream was being preserved? Was it hers?
Hers, correct. But it was thanks in large measure to me, who have been a dance partner. The term dance partner used because of the negotiation that I had. The negotiation that I had allow her, cause her, or I should say, the negotiation that I talked the attorney into signing or let her sign with him.
But all of this story to this point sounds like, you were where she had financial problems. You were helping her to get herself organized. What I don't understand is, how did it move from there to now Camille Ruffner is bankrupt? That part is still not clear to me.
I know it sounds unreal, graduates. The story, it sounds like it's straight out of Hollywood, right? But when I tell you that I have seen all of the documentation that's attached to this, and it is just absolutely crazy, it isn't funny. But because it is such a complicated case, I am not going to keep you here much longer. You're going to have to come back for part two. This is only part one to find out what went wrong. How did it end up as Camille being bankrupt? Because that part, right up to this story, wasn't clear. But you will be shocked to find out the nature of human beings and how far people will go for money. This is going to be present in part two with a lot more evidence, actual documents showing the bankruptcy proceedings and what happened in the actual end. If you have made it this far into this video, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and do not forget to click that bell if you are new to my channel so that you are notified anytime I upload part two of this explosive interview with Camille, aka Angie. Big up your nice clean self. This is your girl, Head Teacher K.